Good evening, everybody. I am so excited to have you here. We are going to be unwinding, we're going to be getting comfy, getting cozy, and we're going to be having a self-care evening. If you're new here, you won't know this, but I am such a strong advocate for we deserve to look after ourselves. Our body deserves to feel loved and looked after, and that's exactly what I try and promote on this channel. Let's get cute, let's get comfy and cozy, because we're gonna do a self-care evening and you're gonna do it with me. I just want to touch on the point in this video that we're doing all of this with intention, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. It's currently 5:30 in the evening. I've just sat and planned my day out for tomorrow. I do this in my Grace Beverley, the Productivity Method planner. So I've written all my to-dos for the day, planned out what time I'm doing everything, how my day's gonna look, my workout for the morning. Just basically done all the prep for tomorrow so that I can actually switch off this evening. It's so easy to be taken out of the present moment because we're so focused on tomorrow. But if you kind of get those distracting thoughts and actions done, then you can actually be in the present moment. I've already done that, plan my content, plan my day, and now I'm ready to unwind. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my room all cozy, and then we're gonna make some dinner. I like my dinner quite early, so although it's 5:30, by the time I finish making it, it'll probably be about 6 o'clock. That's perfect for me. Something I've been trying to focus on recently is having comforting meals. I just enjoy a really comforting meal, but also tasty and nutritious. So that's what today's dinner is. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's one of my faves. I've been helping my dad pack orders today, so when I got home I did just get straight into my comfies. I'm already one step ahead. But first thing to do when you're about to start your evening, get out of the clothes you've had on that day, get into something comfy and cute and something you feel nice and comfortable in. I always love to have these on my TV because it just adds to the ambience. Next on the agenda is my hair care routine. What I like to do for this is I use this bamboo hairbrush and I use it just to kind of stimulate my scalp. I just sit here and brush for about 2-3 minutes. So I finished brushing my hair and getting my scalp warmed up, I guess. I go in with a hair oil after this. I'm gonna go for the natural scalp serum from Hair and Earth. This is a well-loved bottle, as you can see. I just run this through my hair until it feels like it's kind of equally distributed. My scalp tends to get quite dry around my parting, so I try and focus some of it there. I look like a werewolf right now. This brush came with my Hair and Earth order, so this is kind of like my dedicated hair oiling brush. Because I'm gonna have a bath, I'm just gonna put my hair into a bun, and then when I go to bed, I'll put it into a French plait. It's not my neatest bun, but it will do. I think it may be time to put the bath on. Baths for me are such a comfort. Something I've realised is as soon as the weather turns a little bit colder, I notice within myself I feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident, and I don't know, I just feel more at ease with life. I think it's because whenever it's summertime, when I was younger I used to hate summer because you're sat there thinking, am I going to be invited out? Am I going to be seeing everyone out on social media and I didn't get an invite? Like, summers where people always wanted to do stuff, and the thought of people having plans and me potentially not being in them really upset me and overwhelmed me to the point where I genuinely think that's the reason I prefer winter to summer. At least in winter, if I wasn't invited to stuff, I'm like, oh, I didn't want to go anyway because it was cold, and I just had a self-care evening, and I think it was like a coping mechanism. But I'm learning that now that I've got like a nice group of friends around me, I'm learning to kind of combat my, I guess, the weird habits and fears that I've made myself do, as I said, as a coping mechanism. I don't know, I just thought this was an interesting revelation that I had. I know I won't be alone. I've learned to love self-care evenings for healing rather than just as like a cover for not having any plans and not having a social life. I actually choose to have them, and it goes back to this thing about doing things with intention. You can have a self-care night. The way that you can shift it and get the biggest reward out of it is by doing it with intention. But the way to do that is, what am I going to do in the bath? Why am I having this bath? It is self-care, but it's not as beneficial for you as if you just laid there and just embraced the calm and the quiet, or you read your favourite book, or you journaled, or you listen to some music, because you're practicing mindfulness, thinking about what is your intention with each of these self-care rituals. It just adds an extra layer of depth to each part of your routine. If I was to sit and journal tonight, what am I hoping to get out of it? What is it that I want to write about? Give it a purpose rather than just doing it because you feel like you should. I hope that makes sense. To me, it makes sense. But I guess I don't know how to define intention in the terms that I mean it, but I just think everything in life, you do it with intention, do it with meaning, do it with trust, and all of a sudden it's a lot more powerful than it ever was if you just are doing it for the sake of it. I'm gonna stop rambling at you. While the bath is running, I'm gonna take my makeup off. May even treat myself and do a face mask tonight, because why not? Because of what I'm doing with my skincare routine at the minute. I don't really use many exfoliating products. What I've decided to do is, as I say, I'm like switching up my skincare routine at the minute, and I don't want to do anything super exfoliating, but that's mainly on my forehead. I'm trying out retinol at the moment, and I've kind of overdone it, but I heard, I think it's like Natalie O'Neill, love her, say that you don't need to use exfoliating products with retinol. But my chin has been acting up a lot recently, so I'm literally just going to put some of this Benefit Professional Deep Retreat Mask on my chin. Shower now. A shower? I'm out of my bath now. I just feel so chill and calm and zen. I washed the face mask off, washed my face, and then now we're gonna do some skincare. But before I show you my evening skincare routine, I wanted to thank today's video sponsor, which is Oodie. I recently got my hands on the Oodie dressing gown. I cannot tell you how soft, how comfy it is. When you put it on, you just feel like someone's giving you a hug. And as a self-care girly, I'm all for that. They've got cuff sleeves, which I actually think are really handy, because when you want them out of the way, they stay out of the way. I just went for the white fleece colour, but they have so many options, so many colours. If there is one thing that is my new self-care winter essential, it is this dressing gown. If your house is quite cold and you don't want to have the heating on all the time, this warms you up straight away. Just love it. I'll leave a link to the Oodie website in the description, but they have also kindly given me a discount code, which I'll put on the screen here. Make sure to use my code when checking out. We can just have matching self-care evenings all autumn, winter, and I love it. Moving on to my actual skincare. I've got in the habit of using this kind of all the time. This is the Hypochlorous cleansing solution, and you just spray it on your face. Isoclean kindly sent this to me. And I don't know in the specifics what it does, but in my eyes it's like an anti-bac for your face, or it's just like a wash spray. I don't really know. I get really weird about germs at the minute, especially in winter. Even when like I wash my hands, I don't like using that same towel to then put on my face. But at the minute I've been using, you know, those disposable face towels, and I've actually been loving them. They're quite inexpensive on Amazon. So after that, I just make sure my skin is nice and dry, and I then go in with my retinol, which I've not used in a few days because I kind of overdid it. I was using it every single night when you're not meant to, and I was just doing it on my forehead instead of my whole face and on my neck, so it was definitely just way too concentrated and way too often. So I'm gonna follow the instructions as they're meant to be followed now. So you use a pea size amount, which I just use a pump. And then before, as I say, I would just do it on my forehead because that's where I feel like, I know I'm 22 and I know I don't need to use retinol, but I just felt like my fine lines were just getting a little bit too fine for the 22-year-old me's liking. I've heard that the one I use is quite a good one. Again, is it Natalie O'Neill? Or is it Bambi Does Beauty? So what I've learned is you put it on and you let it soak in for about 10 to 15 minutes and then you moisturise after. As always, I use Weleda Skin Food, and I do love this, but not to keep banging on about the same lady, but she said that this isn't that good because it's quite perfumed, or like when they put essential oils in skincare products, it gives you something. And I have kind of thought it is quite fragranced, but for me it was inexpensive, but did the job. While I wait for my retinol to set in, I'm gonna go and make a drink. I don't know whether I fancy a peppermint tea or a hot chocolate. I've eaten quite a lot of sweet things today, so part of me thinks I should do my peppermint tea, but it's not gonna hit the spot. I know I want a hot chocolate, so I'm gonna go make a hot chocolate. I'm back. I've made my hot chocolate and it's time to put my moisturiser on. This is so weird to me because I get so dry so quickly and I hate not putting moisturiser on this second that I'll wash my skin. Like when I get out of a bath or a shower, I have to put moisturiser on my body and my face straight away because I just cannot stand the feeling of being dry. Like my hand right now feels so dry. I guess as well I need to be careful because if I'm putting the retinol on with my hands, then surely it will dry my hands out too. It's that time of year where all the skin around your cuticles goes really dry. So I'm making a conscious effort to get my cuticle clippers and get away the little straggly bits so that I'm not tempted to like pick at them because I know that's what I do. Oh, the neon hand cream is my favourite thing in the world. Carrying on from my last point, I used this Leighton Denny Intensive Nail Repair Cream and I use that around my cuticles, just again to help nourish, protect them in these winter months. It's 10 to 9 and I feel like I need to journal because I had counselling today and it was quite a heavy session. When I know I've got a lot on my mind and I don't journal, I just can't sleep very well. Because I'm getting up and doing a lot of exercise at the minute, I want to make sure that I'm as well rested as possible. I'm going to get into some PJs now. Of course, my favourite PJs, if you know, you know. And I'm gonna do some journaling. If you recognise these PJs, I literally love you because you've been around for a while. First thing I need to do is shut my door, that's not good feng shui. After I journaled, I watched Sarah Crowley's recent YouTube video because, as you know, I'm obsessed with her. I've just gone and brushed my teeth, doing my final steps of self-care that I do, which is hand cream and Laneige lip mask. These two are my dream team, summer, winter, every day. All that's left to do now is blow out my candles. I'm going to carry on playing the music on my TV, the little cute ambient music, and I'm gonna read my book. I literally started this morning the Book of Azrael. Keep you updated on how I get on with that book. I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. Thank you again to Oodie for sponsoring it. If you did enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe, check me out on my other social medias, and I will see you in my next video.